Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to Two Brits, One Puck. I'm your host, Mr. Intangibles, a fancy boy and a farm boy, Dan Masters, with my good friend, the president of the Leon Draisaitl fan club, the leader of Hockey Human Resources, and a man who needed a break. Will Everett Human. Will, how you doing?
Very well, thank you, Dan. Very well indeed. Happy New Year to you too. But is it too late? You can't really be saying Happy New Year anymore, can you?
Well, you can if it's the people we've not spoken to yet. I feel that's okay.
Yeah, but what if, say it's like an extended family member and you don't see them until March? Do you say Happy New Year?
Well, I plan on not seeing them until March anyway, so no, probably not then.
That's the thing. Like, at what point the ship's sailed by now, isn't it?
You might have a point. It is the 8th.
That's the thing.
Well, I'm not doing it again, so it's staying in. Sorry.
Fair enough. Right, Happy New Year, everyone.
There we go. Did you manage to catch any of the World Juniors by any chance?
I caught half of one game, and it was the only game that mattered. It was that thrashing the Russians fed the Canadians, and I watched it with my old man, of all people.
Bloody hell!
I know, fucking absolute timing. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Have you by any chance converted the good man of the Lord?
No, I think it's. I feel like we've covered this before. How, like a lot of men of his generation, he'll watch any sport. I don't think he's.
Oh yes, good point.
Yeah, he's not going to be checking it out in highlights. I think his only sort of casual sport that he watches that he's not hardcore dedicated to would be the NFL. But it's not going to dislodge the NFL as his North American sport of choice.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
He shows an interest though. Like when we were watching that Canada-Russia game, he was like, asking about what the score is, which players are going to be good, sort of thing. Oh, why is that happening? X, Y, and Z. So yeah, whether that was just humouring me in the moment or not, maybe he's when.
Oh, he's my son. I know how to keep him happy.
Yeah, I'm in his house for Christmas. I better do it. But when BT Sport get the rights down, maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Maybe we will see. A couple of things really. There was nothing too mind blowing to take away from the tournament. I didn't think. It was a decent tournament for the LA Kings because two of their prospects had really good tournaments. Samuel Fajimo was the top point scorer with 13 points. And in the finals, the game-winning goal was scored by Akil Thomas with 4 minutes left in the game, which was a classic hockey story with a guy who nobody had spoken about the entire tournament and then pops up with the game winner.
That was the crashing the net goal, wasn't it?
Yes.
Jeez Louise, that was proper Chris Kreider level net crashing, wasn't it? Jesus Christ.
And there we go. And there we have his first comparison. Akil Thomas, the new Chris Kreider.
Yeah, I mean, as a man who knows effectively nothing about junior hockey, let alone Akil Thomas, from what I've seen, from that 1 5-second highlight I've seen, he's effectively Chris Kreider.
Barrett Hayton made some headlines, didn't he? As he was the top scoring Canadian player, but also chose not to remove his helmet during the Russian national anthem, which did cause some friction. And I don't know if you saw in the handshake line, the Russian players refused to shake his hand. And then one of them went past and just pointed to his head and said, like, take off your fucking helmet next time.
It was a proper John Terry, Wade Bridge moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was going to go for Patrice Evra, Luis Suarez.
All right. Which I don't think it's quite of the same magnitude as racial abuse.
Well, he refused to take his helmet off for the Russian national anthem. Are we not saying that's not racist? I mean, come on now, fair's fair.
I mean, if it was for God Save the Queen, then yeah, but it's only the Russians, isn't it?
I mean, if it was God Save the Queen, a bunch of Lagerlouts would have rushed the ice and tried to chin him. Or, like, stick the nut on him, didn't they? Because they're dicks.
Tommy Robinson, like, slipping all over the ice, trying to lay him out.
People trying to throw Union Jack flags on is like some kind of moral support.
Cover him out. He's getting cold. I'll help you, Tommy.
That was funny though. Just I feel like a refusal and a handshake line is like the ultimate kind of shunning in hockey, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think in any like organised handshake line, if you bug someone off and don't shake their hand, that is such a cuss. It's so good.
Especially like hockey. I mean, like there's playoff games where players are literally trying to kill each other with sticks, with the weapons in their hands. But after the game, good game, eh? Shake your hand, shake his hand. But the Russians are like, no, this is the ultimate disrespect. I'm not shaking his hand.
How dare you leave your lid on? People who are trying to defend him and say, oh, he must have just forgotten. No, he fucking didn't. Like,
yeah, there's no way.
And if he did, what you're gonna, you're glad that this player who's top Canadian prospects and all that is stupid enough to not be able to read a social situation and remember that he's meant to take his lid off. Like, I mean, hockey IQ is what you need, but regular IQ would be quite useful anyway.
Yeah, it's useful from time to time. It was the classic thing of everyone cheering for these players and, hooping and hollering when they're scoring goals, but the second one of them makes a mistake, he's just a kid. He's just a kid. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just learned to walk on skates. And you can't blame him. You can't blame him.
Barely come on. Off of his mother's breast. How could we expect the man to be able to remove a helmet from his head?
Exactly. And then the last thing I noticed, which was quite funny, was Russian TV showed the live final, and for some reason, a different channel at the exact same time had the 2011 final on, which was when Russia won the World Juniors 5-3 after being 3-0 down, which caused a bit of confusion. There was football players posting messages saying well done to the team and all that kind of thing because they thought they'd won. I think the best one I saw was from Yana Tarasenko, who said that her husband was watching the game and only realised he was watching the wrong game when he saw himself on the ice, which was great.
I feel like
that's fantastic.
Such a beautiful Russian state-controlled media type thing, where it's like, well, we're going to broadcast both these games at once so we win at least one of them.
Yeah.
So if anyone asks tomorrow, say, yeah, we won the game yesterday, we got the gold, don't worry about it.
I like the idea as well that Tarasenko was watching the game and he's like, wow, that winger's fucking awesome. Who is that guy?
Who is that number 10 for Russia?
Hang on.
Yeah. Well, good-looking young man.
Yeah. But that was it. That was all I got. Canada, of course, wins the game 3-1 down. Wins the final, 3-1 down, back to winning the game 4-3. So thankfully, there is going to be no mass hysteria in Canada this time.
Also, shout out Nils Hoglander for pulling the lacrosse Michigan Svechnikov move.
Yes, absolutely. I think we should call it the Svechnikov. I do think that's fair now.
I don't know what to call it though, because he weren't the first one to do it.
Yeah, I know, but he's popularised it. If you do it on the biggest stage, then that's it.
Yeah,
you own it now, unfortunately.
That's a good point.
Until somebody does like a hat-trick of them or something in a game. In the cup final. That's how they're going to get it off him.
Yeah, also it's going to be like a mantle that keeps passing from person to person.
Yeah.
Whoever does the best one gets it named after him until someone outdoes him.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. I like it.
Should we move on with the show?
Yeah, let's talk about real stuff.
Hey everybody, it's a new year, but it's that time of the week again. It is the Smooth Recap. Surprising news out of Montreal, as the Habs make a play on a basic deal for Russian money grabber Ilya Kovalchuk. Expect to see him at 4C soon, because we all know the Habs need lots more wingers.
The Winter Classic in Dallas was a resounding success, with the event attracting a crowd of 85,630 fans from both teams, the second highest total for any outdoor game. However, the television ratings were the worst since the event's conception. Let's not worry about that though.
Keith Yandel now owns 4th place solely on the NHL's Ironman streak, as he reaches his 831st consecutive game. There should be a sex joke here, but I couldn't think of one. Corey Perry is set to miss the Stars' upcoming road trip, as he's still in the process of walking back to the locker room following his game misconduct at the Cotton Bowl. Perry's 5-game suspension will officially begin when he finally removes his gear. News in race relations out of the Big Apple, as Artemi Panarin, surprisingly, is the first Russian New York Rangers player to be selected ever to the All-Star game. The San Jose Sharks have become the first team in NHL history to score an empty net goal in the dying moments of the game, yet still manage to lose. I don't quite know if Pete DeBoer or Joe Pavelski can help with that level of bad juju. Old people living longer are putting a strain on resources all over the world. This is also being felt in NHL, as crusty puck hoggers Zdeno Chara, Patrick Marleau and Joe Thornton selfishly keep young men out of the game as they celebrate playing in 4 different decades.
Patrick Laine is clearly over the hill after only scoring 1 goal on 13 shots against Toronto this past week. You wouldn't catch Ovi shooting at 7.6%, that's for sure.
Sexy confusion on Long Island. While during a game with the Islanders, referee Francis Charon is asked, "Hey big boy, are you pleased to see me?" It turns out he wasn't, and it was just a puck that Michael Del Zotto had flipped perfectly into the ref's pocket.
John fucking Hynes.
And that was your smooth recap. Okay, we'll get onto that in a bit. Did you see the Corey Perry? Meredith sent us this. Best friend of the show, Meredith Foster, sent us the gif of Corey Perry walking back to the locker room, but he had Squidward's footsteps overlap. Did you hear that and see that?
I've heard a few of it. I had the one with the curb music on the back. That was good.
Any Curb Your Enthusiasm thing is always amazing.
Just chuck that little tune over anything, and it just instantly improves.
We'll discuss some of these things in a bit, though. So let's move on. Who's winning the cup for you this week, Will?
The Detroit Red Wings are going to win the cup, Dan, by the St. Louis Blues law.
Okay.
Rules are rules, mate. Rules are rules. They're last in the league on January 3rd, so might as well give them the trophy now. Save us all a bit of time.
That's right. It is Blues time of year, everybody. I expect to see that one team rocket up the standings any day now with the goalie they suddenly find in the AHL.
Who have you got winning?
Winning the cup for me this week is the Washington Capitals. Not only do they have the best record in hockey, but they played the San Jose Sharks, who scored an empty netter with 1 minute to go to take a commanding 4-2 lead. Yet the Capitals storm back with 2 goals in the final minute and then find an OT winner. You know something like this is bad when the entire last portion of the game can be put in a Twitter clip. You don't have to
you don't have to do a thread. No. You can gif the comeback.
Yeah. Terrible.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Who's getting relegated?
You're going to have to humour me for a little bit on this one, Dan, because I'm going to relegate the video game Dragon Ball Fighter Z, the recent Dragon Ball Z fighting game. I'm gonna relegate it for 2 reasons, Dan, and I'd like to think that as a video game connoisseur as well, you're gonna appreciate it. So this is
indeed a connoisseur.
So I got it for Christmas because I am still actually 13 years old, and the loading screens are offensively slow. I can't stress how long these load times are. And I've got it on the Switch, so it's off of like a solid state cartridge. So there's no excuse whatsoever in the year of 2020 to be having offensive loading screens. But the main reason I'm going to relegate it, Dan, is the menu system is one of these like interactive walking around a place, and you have to walk up to all the different sections to play. You have to go to the options to play the story mode.
Okay.
I can't think of any other examples, but any game where the menus aren't just a fucking menu, get in the bin. I've got no time for it. Like, I don't want to dick about with your shitty little sprite walking up to another shitty little sprite who says, "Oh, do you want to play the story mode?" Yeah, I fucking do. Let me like, what? Who is that serving? Who is that serving? It's not fucking on. Livid.
2 things. Number 1, I feel like that's a very Nintendo thing to do for some reason. I may be way off there. I don't know why, but when you said that, I just thought, oh yeah, that's really Nintendo. That I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you get it with like the Mario games, don't you? Like an overworld where you pick all the different levels. I'll give you that, but at least then that's fundamentally like still the gameplay, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Like you're still doing the same sort of things, whereas this is just like an old school fighting game.
And I feel that my second point was that's like going to a restaurant and the waitress saying, "What would you like?" You then stand up, walk to the kitchen, and have to like make it and say, "I want this."
Yeah. You have to go to all the different kitchens if you want. Right, here's the starter kitchen.
You have to go buy the ingredients.
What would you like from the starter kitchen?
Yeah, exactly.
It's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating.
That's so bizarre. You think like in today's fast paced, like you say, everything's it's meant to be a click away. The idea is like, let's make this menu screen take even longer. It just seems very counterproductive to me.
And it's so like, whenever I'm getting not frustrated, that's far too strong an emotion, but whenever I'm experiencing this delay through the loading screens, through the menus or whatever, it feels so silly because you think, right, 10 years ago or 15 years ago on the PS2 or whatever, this would have been part of the course. But the fact is, it's not nowadays. So it's it's a silly thing to feel like it shouldn't happen. But I would wager that I've spent more time on menus and loading screens on that game than I have actually playing doing the fights.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying Dragon Ball Z Walking Simulator then.
Absolutely loving it, mate. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah. Getting relegated to me this week are the San Jose Sharks.
Oh,
Not
really?
only did they
Why
have
is
a bad
that?
record, but they played the Washington Capitals. They scored an empty netter with 1 minute to go to take a commanding 4-2 lead. Yet the Capitals stormed back with 2 goals in the final minute and then find an OT winner.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, the comeback was so quick, and you could even watch it on Twitter in one GIF. It was amazing.
Has that ever happened before?
I don't know, but fucking hell.
Like, I can't.
You, that's
I cannot believe that. Cannot. Oh, mate. It's just beautiful. That's exactly what we need. That happened this year, didn't it? Happened this week.
Yes, it was this week. It was bizarre because I was, when they do like the confused dog face where it kind of looks at you confused and tilts its head to one side.
Oh yeah.
I saw the GIF on Twitter, and it showed the Sharks scoring an empty netter, and I knew in my head I knew the result. This was the day after, and I still was looking at it. Why are they showing this empty netter for the Sharks? I don't get it. What's happening? Because my brain just couldn't work out. Oh yeah, the Caps are going to come back with 2 goals in the last minute.
Yeah, I know this to happen, but I still can't register that it's actually true.
Starters and scratches, how many?
I've got 3 starters and 4 scratches. A surprise late addition to the scratches. The scratches, let's call it 3 because I'll combine 2 of them.
Have you got lots to get off your chest after Christmas?
Is that it? Mate, fucking hell. Right, so first of all, the Sprouts.
Yeah, I've got 3 starters, and I've only got 2 scratches. But it's you go first, mate, on the starters. What do you got?
Thank you very much. I'm first going to start a chap called Fergus Butler Galley, who is a Twitter user. Don't know what he does. Haven't bothered to check, but check him out. Have you seen the map that he's posted this week, Dan? It's been doing the rounds.
I haven't. I saw a map just before we came on the show, actually, which was they asked a load of Americans, where do you think Iran is on the map?
Jesus fucking Christ.
And it's plotted where they thought it was, and only 20% got it right.
Yeah, I always think of stuff like that. Like they blatantly ask people that
kids.
Yeah, or people that they know are likely not going to be able to find it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want that to come out with like 85% or something. And to be fair, if you showed me a map of the world without the countries labelled on it, I might not get Iran right first time. I think I would, but
I'd be close, but yeah, I wouldn't get it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be in
wouldn't get it exactly. I know whereabouts it is, but
yeah, I wouldn't be in South America. I wouldn't choose like China.
Yeah, but some people chose America.
Oh, that's a joke. That's a joke. And stuff like that. You don't. I could make a map, and I could do that and be like, yeah, only 1 in 5,000 people know where England is. Who's gonna prove that I've done that properly? Anyone can fucking do that shit. Mr. Butler Galley's map is rooted in fact, Dan. It's a map of England specifically.
Okay.
And it's split up into the diocese. So the Church of England diocese, the areas that have their own independent bishops.
Yeah.
And it's rated. It's got like a heat map style thing. It's like the darker the colour, the closer this bishop is walking distance to a Nandos. Oh. Says how far.
I did see that. All right.
How long it will take a bishop to walk from his cathedral to a Nandos. And surprisingly large number of cathedrals are located in Nandos.
It's true.
It's beautiful. Doing God's work.
Fact that men of the cloth love a cheeky Nandos.
As evidenced by I've had a Nandos with my dad before going to the Arsenal. What more could you want?
And there you go. You see, that's a fact we can prove. Fact on the show.
Exactly, that's geographical fact, not just I've asked 50 bishops where Nando's is, and they've all said they're in Iran.
Yeah, it's just over there, mate. I can see it from the tower.
Mate, I'm in a Nando's. What are you talking about?
Yeah. My first starter this week is from the Elmira Enforcers versus the Danbury Hat-Tricks.
Yes.
In the Federal Prospect Hockey League game. which was, I think it was last Friday night or the Friday before. Just hockey game, which seems normal. What wasn't normal was that one of the players was 55 years old, and he was also the owner of one of the teams.
Fucking yes.
Because of lots of injuries, the Elmira owner, Robbie Nichols, played for the Enforcers 25 years after his last season of active professional play. Fantastic.
Big up your Bobby. Big up your Robbie, whatever your name is.
Yeah, Robbie Nichols.
Robbie Nichols. Robbie Bobby, same difference. My second starter, Dan, is Mark Borowicki. He's back. He's back and he's better than ever.
Indeed.
He's back for, let me try and get the transcript of Mr. Borowicki. Right, the quote is, my priority tonight, this is a bit of an old one, so it's from the 21st of December, but I don't think we squeezed it into the last show. My priority tonight and for the rest of the year is not fighting. It's a contract year for me too. I'm currently making $0 next year. I want to be in the lineup and playing. I don't want to get hurt because of a fight. I have things to prove in this league, and my willingness to fight is not one of them. Big up your Mark. What a mate. He's a good guy.
Yep.
Fast becoming probably the best NHLer that's ever played.
He is. Did you? Oh, I see. See, I thought you were going to reference his. I think it was an Instagram post he made either today or yesterday.
No,
and he showed him. He was doing his hockey stick up in Pride tape.
Oh, mate.
Talking about it's all Caps. They were playing the Capitals. He said it's all Caps Pride night. I'm proud to support people and all that kind of thing. I was like, fucking great. He is a superhero. He is Borough Cop. He's the guy we need.
He really is. He really is, and I'm glad that I want to like him. It's good. Yeah.
I think we should. It is a British podcast, Will, as our two accents would indicate, or maybe not, depending on
and maybe even the title of the podcast might give away the fact that it's a British thing.
Exactly. We should talk about the royal family just quickly, with the decision of Prince Harry and the angel, Princess Meghan, as I'm going to call her, deciding to split time between Britain and North America and to become financially independent. Which, I get it, they're in the royal family. It's kind of what's the word? Like, how could they not be, kind of thing,
Well, I don't know. It depends what they mean by financially independent. If they mean, like, independent of the family wealth, I don't think they mean, like...
Well, I'm guessing it means that one of them signs one book deal, and that's them set for life.
Yeah, exactly. They don't mean, we're going to get off benefits. Like, that's not what they're... That's not what we're trying to claim. We're going to stop claiming JSA.
Megan's got to go back on the tills at Aldi.
That's what I was going to say. I want to see bloody Harry stuck in shelves at Lidl or whatever.
Yeah. I think I've discussed it before, but I love Harry because he knows everything, and he can just do whatever the fuck he wants. Doesn't have to fuck around being the king. Doesn't have to go to all these bullshit meetings. He must have sat there one day and just looked at his brother and just thought, "Oh, you poor bastard! I am never doing this ever. I'm going to find me a divorce woman. She's going to be beautiful and sultry and mesmerising. And I'm going to marry her. And no one's going to say shit to me." What are they going to say to him? What are they going to say to him? He knows all the secrets. You just do it. And he's the first one who's got the balls to say, "I'm going to do whatever I want. And I'll see you later."
I still can't believe that he exists. Like, that we're allowed to see him. How is such a blatantly illegitimate child of Princess Diana, like, in the public eye, you know what I mean?
I know.
They should have thrown him down a well. Like, that's what you'd expect, isn't it? If you'd have asked me to put money on, right, the generally disliked by the royal families, the least favoured member of the royal family internally has an illegitimate child who looks like an illegitimate child. How are they going to proceed? Will they let him be in the public eye to the extent where he dresses up as a Nazi for a fancy dress party? Or B, will they leave him at the top of a mountain to sacrifice to this, to, like, I don't know, fucking whoever?
Yeah, I've gone with option B.
Yeah, option B. 8 days a week. But it's good. I'm glad he didn't get eaten by that bear.
Yeah, he didn't mysteriously get lost while backpacking in South America.
He wasn't riding in the passenger seat of a limousine driving through a tunnel in Paris.
Yeah, exactly. He's great. It's true.
Yeah,
I just can't imagine his life to just be somebody of such public interest and to be so kind of out there in the eye of everybody, and everybody knows what the deepest, darkest secret is in your family. Like, everybody knows it.
And
he couldn't look more like James Hewitt. it's startling.
Yeah, it's too bait, really, isn't it? Like,
the problem is that Will looks so much like Charles. Like, he's literally turning into Charles as the years go on, and that's even worse. Because if neither of them looked like Charles, you'd be like, well, something skipped a generation somewhere or something. But no, Will's is just Charles 30, 40 years ago, and Harry isn't in any way.
Is James Hewitt 30, 40 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
It's beautiful.
And like I said before, I think she's a goddess. So there we are.
Speaking of people that we love and are deities of some form, my last starter is going to be Mikel Arteta for reasons that don't need to be explained. I'm buying in, is all I'm going to say.
You bought in. You're back in the game.
I'm back in the game, but I like it. Well done, Mikel.
I mean, you're going to see the coaching tree thing in a few years, aren't you? But he's learned under the best, so it's no bad thing. He's been sat listening to Pep and Mancini and all those guys for the past 10 years or whatever it is.
That's the thing. There are worse people to be listening to.
Last starter for me, I'm going to start a couple of things I watched over Christmas. It's always good to have a little Netflix update, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I'll start with the worst thing first. I watched Dracula on the iPlayer. There were too many jokes in it. It's a bit too slapsticky for me. I was expecting, the first episode was very good, and it just went off the rails. It was too silly after that. Too many witty one-liners. Oh, so Count Dracula, have you ever done this before? He's like, no, but I do have an appetite for learning. And I just expect to hear in the background canned laughter, and it's like, no, sorry. Do you know what it was? It was made by the people who made Sherlock, and it was Sherlock with vampires. You could absolutely tell.
But then there's got to be a market for that sort of thing, isn't there?
Yeah, and I'm sure loads of people watched it because they were like, oh, it's the people who made Sherlock, but whatever. The next thing I watched was on Netflix, which was called The Messiah, which was excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Was it really? I keep seeing like the thumbnails or like the banner with like geezer who looks far too much like Jesus. It's like...
Yeah, mate, honest to God, watch it. It was excellent.
Is it just
amazing.
Is it just about Jesus?
No, it's about a man who claims to be a messenger from God, and he leads. He's sort of in the Middle East, and he starts leading people towards from one country to another country, where there's like lots of racial tensions, lots of war. He ends up in America because people think he's some kind of prophet, or they think he's the Messiah, and people start to like buy into him. And the whole time, you never know. Is he really like somebody special, or is he just really clever at tricking people? Is it just all because they reference magic tricks and stuff in the show? People will say like, "Well, I've seen people do magic tricks like this before. He's just doing a magic trick. It's just an illusion." Yet other people are buying into it because they want to buy into it and stuff like that. It's honestly, mate, really good, really good. I was dead surprised.
Well, I'll have to. I mean, I had no real intention of watching it, but I might give it a go. I've just started Mad Men yesterday, so ask me again in like...
Oh, shit, no way.
In like 10 months, and I'll give it a go.
Yeah, shout out to Christina Hendricks, by the way.
I can't say anything on record about that.
Fantastic. I get what you're saying. And then the last thing I'll recommend was, did you watch the documentary Don't Fuck With Cats on the Internet?
No, I didn't. I saw the advert for it, but...
All right. I don't want to do this to you, but do you remember when we reviewed... what was that thing we reviewed about the family? And that there was the paedophile. What was it called? You know what I mean, though, don't you?
The Crown.
Jim will fix it.
No, what's it called? Come on. Captured in Plain Sight. Abducted in Plain Sight.
Okay. Abducted in Plain Sight. So you know we watched it and then did a little review.
Yeah.
We need to do a review of Don't Fuck With Cats. Because, mate, it was fucking insane. I feel like you have to watch it because I just couldn't explain it to you. It's like it's a captured in plain sight. Every 2 minutes, your jaw just goes, what?
It's on that level, is it?
What? It's what? No, it's not about them. It's not about them. It's about a whole new thing.
No, but I mean, it's on that level of like craziness.
It is fucking batshit crazy.
I didn't get that from the trailer. I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's about them hunting down like the people doing whole 2 men 1 pickaxe or whatever and all that.
Yeah.
But it's really on that level of mentalness.
Yes, for sure.
Excellent. All right, I'll definitely give it a go then.
Fantastic. Alrighty, there we go. That was my little recommendations for watching things over Christmas. 3 scratches, you say?
Yeah. Let's go for a trio.
Go on then, you go first.
So our first is going to be the one I'm going to combine. I'm going to scratch NBC and Premier Sports.
Wow.
NBC for their complete inability to show an effective replay. Specifically, there was a moment in the Winter Classic. Tyler Sagan came out of the box and then had a breakaway from it. I forget what happened before it, but they showed the thing that happened before his breakaway. And I think he hit the post on the breakaway or something like that. And it was one of those ones to be like, oh, I need to see a replay of that to find out what exactly happened. And then they just showed some innate, like a fucking attempted cross-crease pass on the power play on the other end. I'm scratching Premier Sports for having worse video quality than an illegal stream, despite costing me £12 to watch the Winter Classic on my television rather than my mobile phone.
Oh, fantastic.
I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah, me neither.
Who's to say? Who are you scratching?
I guess.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, I guess because BT Sport and Sky have got all the best cables or something. I don't know how it works, but maybe that's the thing.
Whatever's happening, I'm starting to think now that it's not Premier Sports that are mugging us off. Premier Sports are getting mugged off by whoever's supplying them the NBC feeds.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's exactly all they're doing is streaming the NBC Sport feed, and if some geezer who's illegally streaming it on bloody kissport.ru or whatever can get it in 1080p 60 fps, he's not going to be having the same sort of funding put into that Premier Sports potentially could.
There's some guy in the crowd who could have filmed it better than Premier Sports could.
Absolute joke, but there you go.
My first scratch is the Winnipeg Jets have a goalie prospect called Mikhail Berdin. He's currently playing for the Manitoba Moose, and they had a game against the San Antonio Rampage. For some reason, and this guy is a bit of a character, on a penalty kill, he caught the puck in his glove and then decided for some reason to try and drop kick it, which was hilarious until a San Antonio Rampage player came in from the other side and he had his head sliced off. The attempted drop kick was funny, but skates near necks are quite scary.
It's not a goalie's fault though, is it?
I mean, yeah. Have you seen this? Have you seen this clip?
Yeah, I have. I'd completely forgotten it happened. But
it's fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah, really scary. But then that's what you get when you're crashing the net. Like, it's a dangerous place to be, mate.
They weren't crashing the net. They were skating towards the net. They weren't crashing it. It wasn't like a big scrum.
It's the same difference. If you're getting towards the net, like you should expect to have an 8-inch skate blade up near your neck.
Near your jugular.
Yeah, if he was that worried about having his neck sliced open, he'd wear like a Wayne Gretzky turtleneck sort of thing.
Let's say it's 50-50 then.
Yeah, it's basically a 50-50 challenge.
Yeah. What's your next one?
My number 2 is the NHL's media crew. Whoever they're referencing when you see a video clip saying an NHL original production, whoever's behind that, you're getting scratched for featuring Austin Watson on the Road to the Winter Classic documentary. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, mate.
That was a bold move.
That was a fucking dumb move. Like, there's 44 players involved. 44 players and another 10 coaches or so involved across the two teams who you could feature in your little documentary. Don't feature the one who is a domestic abuser. It's pretty simple, really, I'd have thought. And especially where, like, so there's a little feature on him and his girlfriend and their son, and it definitely has an air of, see, they're all a happy family. He would never commit domestic abuse. No, look, they're all happy and they love each other.
You would think, right, even if reports came out that, it was all 50-50, or I know it didn't, by the way, I'm just saying, like, devil's advocate. Even if reports came out that there was nothing to it and, whatever, blah, 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 there's nothing to it, you would think that somebody would still say, let's just leave him off because it just doesn't look good. Do you know what I mean? And like you say, the fact he's on there, it looks like they're trying to almost kind of force issue too much.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's no, like, worst case scenario. It looks like you're trying to cover up for him. And there isn't a best case scenario. You're either doing that or you're just featuring a domestic abuser and you're, effectively promoting his actions. Like, it's baffling. baffling. Well, no, not really that baffling, actually. It's just another bit of evidence of how short-sighted the NHL is at large.
How would you follow on from that?
Yeah, what can you do? What can you do?
What can you do? Let's just move on to the next thing. My final scratch is the Tampa Bay Lightning for being party poopers and for stopping Svechnikov trying his own move as he was behind the net, tried to flick it in, and Tampa had a game plan and denied him. One player was on the post and just simply hacked to his stick very hard, and the puck just flew away. So, boo them for stopping fun.
You've got to get men on the posts, Dan. You should know this. I want to see
It's true.
teams.
You should always have a man on the line.
I want to see teams lining up like they're trying to defend a corner when Svechnikov goes behind the net.
Yeah. Just quickly as well, just quickly. I would say the Lightning have found their groove, haven't they?
I think they're getting there, slowly but surely.
Yeah. Fucking 8 wins in a row. And then there was a poll last night on NHL.com, which was, tonight's the first time in 20 years or something stupid that 2 teams have won 7 games in a row. Who have you got? And it was Canucks or Lightning. It was like fucking... Canucks won the vote. They had like 60% of the vote or something like that. And I thought, that's going to be... And I just thought the Lightning would edge it, which they did, 9-2. So.
Close fought game. Close game.
Close enough in the end. Fucking 9-2. Jesus.
Christ alive. Well, speaking of idiots based in Western Canada, Dan, my last scratch of the week is going to be none other than David Staples, who earlier today yesterday sent out a tweet saying, "When I think of gifted, I think of Orr, Lemieux, Morenz, Karlamov and McDavid. Darn good company." He was queried by a Twitter user how often he had seen Howie Morenz, the late Howie Morenz. Staples claimed he'd seen him 15 or 20 times. The issue with that, Dan, is Howie Morenz died in 1937.
Now, hear me out.
Hang on.
Is it possible, just going to put this out there, is it possible David Staples has mastered quantum physics and has a time machine somewhere in his apartment?
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how old David Staples is.
Exactly. Or maybe he just has a really good skincare routine.
It's possible. It's possible that,
is he 140 years old? You know?
I mean, cool, that'd be impressive. Even, 83 years ago, Morenz died. Maybe he just means that he's 85, and when he was a 1-year-old, his parents took him to see Morenz in the last season.
Yeah, maybe.
Even then, I feel like that's a bit of an outlandish claim to say you've actually seen him, because even that number of times in a year, you wouldn't necessarily retain that information as a bairn. Fair play if it's true, though.
I mean, yeah. So what? Okay, so there we go then. David Staples, quantum physics master, fabulous skincare routiner, Count Dracula. It's one of the 3.
Do you reckon Dracula can go to... So vampires can't go out during the day, yeah?
They can, they just can't be in sunlight, which makes it very difficult for them to go out in the day.
Okay,
but they can be out in the day.
So
they just can't be exposed to direct sunlight.
Can't be exposed to sunlight. Like, oh, what?
No.
And this was... Vampires were sort of first... They're traditionally kind of, not medieval, but, they're a bit old school, or it's a bit gas lampy era, isn't it?
Yes.
With today's modern lighting, Dan, say you take an NHL arena, would a vampire be able
UV
to
lights?
go out? Yeah, like at what level? There's got to be somewhere in the world that is close enough to sunlight, replicating sunlight, that it would be bad for a vampire to be in.
I mean, I guess so, but maybe they'd adapt. It's evolution.
If they could adapt, Dan, they'd have adapted to bloody sunlight.
That's what I'm saying, though. Maybe the newer vampires are just walking around out there. They have to wear lots of sunscreen, but they're a bit further on. They're a bit further, evolution.
Your Pattinsons, your Cullen families.
You Wesley Snipes.
He was was Wesley a daywalker? Is Blade a daywalker?
That was a point of Blade. He was a daywalker because his mum was a human.
I don't know about any point of Blade, really.
Yeah, he was a daywalker. He could go out and about. He was fine.
Fair play. But then when you're a vampire hunter, you don't necessarily need to... Really, you don't want to be a daywalker because you want to be forced into a nocturnal pattern so you're not tired when you're going out.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, how does being a daywalker benefit Blade in any way? It doesn't.
Just means he can...
Because the things he hunts can't go out in the daytime anyway.
It just means he can go to the shops at a normal time and not have to go to Asda at 2 in the morning. And you know how weird it is when you go to the supermarket.
While he's not While he's not killing a horde, he's not thinking, "Oh fuck, I better get bread." Shit.
Jesus Christ! I've got to get. I can't stop at the shop on the way home. Because it's always weird when you're in like a 24-hour Tesco or something. You're in there at like midnight and you're getting more beers or more snacks or whatever it might be, and you see some geezer doing his full weekly shop with like a massive loaded trolley. You're like,
oh, it's terrifying. Those guys are scary. I'm so scared of those people.
Mutant, innit? Like they've killed someone. You fucking like what? I better go out
to a shop so I look normal.
This is a regular human thing to do.
There's like a body in his fridge. He's like, shit, what would a normal person do right now at midnight on a Wednesday? I'll go to the shops. That'll keep him off my back. They'll never suspect a thing.
This is my alibi.
I couldn't have murdered him. I was buying cat food.
I've got the receipt.
God, he'd be my prime suspect. What? Anybody shopping at a supermarket at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's pre-crime, like without question. There's no doubt about it. Absolute pre-crime.
Anything as gets called in, and you're like, right, I know we're questioning first.
Yeah, it's that fucking local weirdo who does your shopping at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. Oh, dearie me. All right, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I don't like the.
Okay,
I don't like the phrase.
You said like maybe you had. You said maybe you had 4 scratches. I can't remember if it was like if you settled on 3 or there was a fourth one.
I was going to give NBC and Premier Sports their own plinth to be ranted about, but now I thought
I see.
Bring them under a broadcasting umbrella.
Don't forget, everybody, we're on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and on the tannoys at your favourite railway station. While you are on the train, wondering what the hell happened to your life, then please log into iTunes and drop a snappy 5-star review, you magnificent bastards. You can also donate to the show at Red Circle, and should you choose to do so, I could probably afford to pay my rent. Let's go on to the news, which, as always, is brought to you by Wave Intel. Will, do you like lines?
Yeah, I love a good line.
Do you like numbers?
Jersey numbers? Yeah, I love jersey numbers.
Do you like colours?
Some, yeah.
If, like Will, you answered yes to all 3 of those questions above, then head over to Wave Intel or check out Wave Intel on Twitter for easy-to-read NHL team comparisons with the versus model and the player versus model. If you'd like to avoid fist-fighting your friends like Montreal fans over a hot dog, then do check out Wave Intel, which is being smart so you don't have to be. Okie dokie. As mentioned in the smooth recap, with 3 words, John fucking Hynes. I'm gonna take a tiny little victory lap here, Will. As it is the blue season, there's still time for things to turn around. But we both did say at the start of the season we had the Preds as our surprise team to struggle. And the best of the Christmas show proved we are geniuses at predicting the future. And as of yesterday, the Preds aren't very good, and Peter Laviolette is out.
This goes back to our playoff exit in, the playoffs last year, to be very bottom line. It goes to our meetings in the off season with players and coaches. Last year, all we talked about in these meetings was how bad our power play was, and bang, we get off to a great start, 8-3, scoring power plays, playing well. It seemed to just kind of unravel a bit at that time. So again, we worked on different things, but then we lost 5 or 6 games in a row. Pittsburgh games were really disappointing. The Winter Classic was somewhat devastating on the national stage. I mean, it's a combination of a lot of things. So just felt that we just were not going to turn the corner. I would like to have been happy to work with Peter and Kevin for a lot longer. It's not them. It may be a little part of them. It's not them. It's our players. They have to make up their mind to play the way they can.
Your thoughts, Will?
Why are you? In what world is John Hynes going to be a better coach than Peter Laviolette? I get that you sort of have to. You can't just formulate an opinion on a coach or a player based on how they were used by a different team. But to an extent, this geezer's been fired this season from a bad team who have nothing to lose by keeping him, really. If he was that good of a coach, they'd keep him around for next year. And a team that sees an organisation that had him as a coach and sees him operating every single day.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Unless you truly think that it was just an inappropriate system for the players that Hynes had, which in some ways, yeah, if you think that system's going to work for the players that you have, fair enough. But that's not a ringing endorsement if you just think that, oh, he wasn't implementing an appropriate system. You know what I mean? That's just showing his inflexibility.
I agree. I did put this on Twitter, but it's interesting that the Preds fired their coach because the goalies couldn't make a save, and then they hired the coach who was fired because his goalies couldn't make a save.
Yeah, I don't think UFC Soros is necessarily going to help John Hynes reclaim his reputation.
Yeah, I checked. Combined, Pecorino and Yusei Saros at all strengths are a combined .893 save percentage this season.
It's not good. It's not a good situation. Their goals saved above average is not very good either. So for all goalies that have played 500 minutes at 5-on-5 at least this season, Yusei Saros is only saving more goals above average than famous all-star goalies Martin Jones, Sergei Bobrovsky, Mike Smith,
No way.
Matt Murray and Jimmy Howard. He's worse than every single other goalie in that regard. Yeah, not ideal. Pecorino's doing all right in that category. Not great. I think he's 20th in the league out of 59. Yeah. Soros isn't going to be having a renaissance under John Hynes, I don't think.
You know why he got the job, don't you?
Because he had a job previously.
Because he's friends with Jeff Keelty, an AGM who works for the Preds, and they were roommates together at college.
Really? Oh, fucking hell.
Did you not know that?
No, I don't even know who Jeff Keelty is. Well, I didn't until 4 seconds ago.
Yeah, he does. He's the director of player. He's a director of player personnel.
Did he take Paul Fenton's job when Paul Fenton left?
And yeah, they were roommates at college. This was on. I pulled this from Twitter somewhere. That's why he's got the job.
Yeah, of course. Of course it is.
And Laviolette was fired, and it was the day after. So it wasn't a big, long interview process. It wasn't like people flying in from all across the country. Oh, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? No, it was just, we've already got the guy. Get Pete out. Get John in. Bish, bash, bosh. Jobs are good.
It's like they fired Peter Laviolette to hire John Hynes.
Yeah, it is. Almost like, shit, this guy's out there. We better get him quick before someone else snaps him up.
And it's with him being a retread and like such an immediate retread, it's not like he's one of these really established coaches like your Babcocks or now your Laviolettes or whatever. He's not exactly had a lot of... New Jersey was his first head coaching job, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wasn't... I mean, I wouldn't have said he was an awful coach necessarily, but proof's in the pudding, isn't it?
It's a very odd hire, and you know what? In some ways, it was an odd firing because I watched some of the press conference, and Poyle said in his press conference, well, it goes back to this past postseason, which begged the question: why didn't you fire Peter Laviolette after the postseason then?
Standard procedure. I think it boils down to the Winter Classic. If they win the Winter Classic, he's still Laviolette still has his job.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, Poyle mentioned in the press conference that it was he said that they were, I think he said embarrassed.
Yeah, he did say
on a national scale. And
that is it. Like if you're having a bad enough season and then you're in a market like the highest profile event your franchise has ever been in, and you get mugged off by a team who loses a skater within 33 minutes. That's enough to piss anyone off.
I will say as well. Did you see Poyle at the press conference while he was discussing Laviolette?
No.
I mean, Poyle looked like he was appealing for information on his missing kid. I mean, he couldn't have looked more depressed, despondent. I genuinely thought at one point he was going to cry. He seemed to... I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, like Peter Laviolette's got to be he's the most successful Predators coach ever. I mean, they've got banners in the rafters because of Peter Laviolette. So, but Christ,
and isn't he's the first coach that Laviolette's fired mid-season, isn't he?
Yeah. The first one that Poyle's got rid of mid-season. When you've got all that money invested in that team for what is supposedly a good team, you want to see some returns. Like I said, supposedly, supposedly a good team. You want to see some returns, don't you?
You know, he should be fired mid-season. You should. David Poyle.
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say Matt Duchene because he's now cursing another team.
Well, no, what can you do? You can't fire all the players. If you're going to fire all the players, then if you're going to fire Matt Duchene,
you just fire one. You just fire one player.
You can't trade Matt Duchene though. That'd be impossible. It's not going to happen again.
No, it's true. I know, yeah.
Not for, fool me once, shame on you, Dan. Fool
me for the 7th
Fool me 4 times. Yeah. Shame on you, Matt Duchesne.
Fool me for the 4th time with another first round pick. Shame on me. One last thing on this.
Go on.
Here's the issue we've got. Are we really going to poo-poo this hire after what happened to the Blues last year?
Oh,
after we came on here last year and spent 10 minutes laughing at Craig Berube. Craig Berube, Will. I remember that episode vividly.
Oh, I do. I wake up in cold sweats about it regularly.
Can we really poo-poo this hire?
We can poo-poo whatever we want. We just run the risk more than ever of making ourselves look like utter idiots. But Craig Berube didn't get fired that season. If that makes it any better. I don't know if it does, but maybe it does.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might come back to haunt us. But then the Predators don't have as good a squad as the Blues did last season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do the Preds have a surprisingly good goalie just wandering around the AHL doing fuck all right now?
Not around the AHL, but they do have 2 good goalies in the NHL that should be better than they are.
I mean, to be fair, they have 2 good goalies right there.
Who just are, but the difference is like they're not. It's not like Jake Allen started saving anything last season, was it? It relied on Binnington coming in, so I don't think it's the same. We've seen what we're going to see from Rinne and Saros this year.
Yeah, good point.
Just as a little aside before we get on to other NHL-related news things, I just want to complain openly about the fact that you're not a Star Wars fan, Dan, because there are fantastic comparisons between the most recent trilogy of Star Wars films and how they were made, and I believe the Edmonton Oilers under Pete Chiarelli.
Is it they were both painful to watch?
No, it's more the idea of... So you had 2 different directors for the 3 films, and the one made the first film, then the second one came in and made the second one as like a response to the first film because he didn't like what was said, and then the first one came back in and made another film that was effectively rewriting what happened in the second film because he didn't like what that one said.
For fuck's sake!
So it was...
Jesus!
It's just like a why would you let them do that, and why would you let Pete Chiarelli sign Mikko Koskinen for 3 years at $4.5 million and then fire him? There you go. That's my bit. I feel like we could have done 40 minutes on that if you're a Star Wars fan, but there we go. Wasted content.
Yeah, sorry. Wasted content. What did you think? There was a little John Tortorella press conference that got a bit of steam over the holidays. What do you think of that?
Can we call him Little John Tortorella forever?
The whistle is blown at 19.2 on the clock. For some reason, the clock has run down a second and a tenth to 18.1. For whatever reason, I have no idea. So instead of resetting the clock, we have them tell our captain we're not going to do it. Toronto doesn't step in. Refs don't do their freaking job. And now we lose the game and we lose our goalie. So the chain of events, if it was done right, we don't lose our goalie, we win the hockey game. So all this technology, right? The technology and getting things right, the stubbornness tonight by the officials and by the league and Toronto, however it's supposed to work, screws us. It's ridiculous. I'm not taking any
No, because I'm scared he'll book a flight, come over and try and fight me. He would do that kind of thing.
Kill you. Yeah, like in any sport, like you're not allowed to talk shit about the refs, but fuck the refs. You know what I mean? Like we should be allowed to. Coaches should be allowed to talk shit about the refs. $25,000 he got fined for. Fair play. I think he's right.
Well, no, was it 20 grand? And then a conditional another 25 grand if he does it again.
Oh, I thought it was going to be bumped up to. Oh, okay. All right,
no. So it could be 45 all in 45. If he does it again.
Fair enough, you can fine him because that's just how it is. But do you not think he's a little bit right?
Yeah, I do, completely.
Especially where
the chain of events really did fuck them over. Do you know what happened with the chain of events?
Yeah, so there was I don't know what the times were, like 9 seconds there should have been 9 on the clock and it turned 7.8 or whatever it was.
Yeah, there should have been an extra 1.1 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and then
Chicago took a penalty.
And then in that time, they score. Send it to
then the
overtime.
Blue Jackets score 0.2 seconds after the buzzer goes, and then in the shootout, their goalie got injured. So it's the cause and effect.
And like I get that, yeah, the whole cause and effect thing of, oh well, if they'd had that time on, then the chain of events wouldn't have happened as they did. But fucking, let's not get too quantum physics on it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this did happen, and the goalie got injured in the shootout when they wouldn't have. Obviously, you can't just go around saying what you want without repercussions, because it's a private business at the end of the day, and your bosses can reprimand you for libelling effectively your colleagues. But still, free John Tortorella's money. Hashtag free Little John.
Are you? Yeah, Little John. Are you aware of Chadot Chosinko, former NFL player?
Yeah. Number 86.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
85.
Right, 85. Yeah.
85.
Didn't he change his name to something else?
Yeah, his name's Chad Johnson.
Oh yeah,
he changed it to Chadot Chosinko.
That's a good last name though.
It's fantastic. So what he used to do was, he would amass loads of fines every year in the NFL, because he would always do wacky celebrations. So he'd hide things in the end zone. He'd take the little orange pylons off and do stuff with them. You weren't allowed to do that when he was playing. So he'd always get fined for excessively celebrating. So what he would do every year, he would just put loads of money aside for fines and then get his money's worth. And that's what Torts should do. He should just go to the NHL head office with a fucking bucket full of pennies, like $100,000 worth of pennies, and just say, right.
Yeah, just be like, right, here's my like budgeting. Right, I've got 100 grand's worth of fines I can get this year. What can I do?
Because imagine if he gets to like 4 games for the end of the regular season and he's not been fined. He's thinking, well, the money's already there. I may as well get 100 grand's worth. Could you imagine that press conference?
Just grabs the mic and is like, Gary Bettman is a fucking etc.
Like flips the podium, rips down the curtain. This is bullshit.
Poor Torts. Free Torts.
Free Torts. Free Torts. Spare Torts is money.
I thought this was America, Dad.
This is... That's a great reference, because it's one of my favourite episodes ever. That's such a good line.
What is it from?
Sorry.
I can never remember.
This is America.
I thought this... Oh,
South Park.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's the kids playing Little League and he has to fight that other dad.
That dad.
And he gets arrested. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I thought this was America.
An interesting little stat posted over Christmas break was games with a time on ice of over 31 minutes this season. The entire NHL combined has 3 players that have done this.
Are they
once
all...
each.
Oh, it's not all Thomas Chabot.
No, and Thomas Chabot has 4 on his own.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are you of the school of... Yeah, I was going to say, this is the kind of the question. Are you of the school of thinking that you should just ride these young players into the ground, pardon the expression, or should you preserve them?
I'll fucking kill them till the wheels fall off, Dad. Till the wheels fall off. Like,
you're just a piece of meat. Get out there.
You're just a fucking tool to me, boy. Like, it just depends, doesn't it? If you can do it, then play it. You know, like back in the day, like you got a lot of players playing like close to 40 minutes a night. Like Sergei Zubov used to play almost 40 minutes a night, and he was fucking smashing a 20-pack of Marlboro at the break and stuff like that. if they've got the engine to do it and they're good enough to play, I'm not saying like, oh, if Ross Johnson just so happens to have really good stamina and playing for 40 minutes a night, like there's got to be it's got to be worth playing him. But I wouldn't say you need to rest people, do you? There's not overwhelming
do you know,
evidence.
Like a team like the Sens, who are like, why would you play him that much? I get it. Every team wants to be competitive, but let's be honest. Right now, this season, Sens not competitive. Why would you?
Is Thomas Chabot still developing though?
I would say so.
Yeah. So does it not behoove the Sens to get him more and more experience?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe you're right. I was thinking more longer term susceptibility to injury, that kind of thing.
Yeah, true. But again, then that comes down to the sports science of it. If they believe enough that he is suited to playing these kinds of minutes without risk, then go for it. But if you've not got that information, then don't.
I suppose, like, you look, I mean, it can be done. I'm thinking about, I can't remember which playoff run it was, but the Blackhawks, Duncan Keith was averaging like 34 minutes a game in the playoffs. It's like when they won the cup. So,
that'd be the one where they had, they just played their top four, didn't they? Basically, because their bottom pair was like Kimmo Timonen and Michael Roosevelt, I think.
Ooh, yeah, good shout.
And Timonen averaged like 8 minutes a night.
Yeah.
The good old days. I think that was 2015 against the Lightning, if memory serves.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
I mean,
just a little interesting, a little wrinkle.
Yeah, it's good. I like that. Good on Thomas Chabot. I'm looking forward to him having to retire with severe arthritis at age 28. then we'll know. Ask me again. Ask me again in 5 years, Dan.
We'll come back in 5 years and go, yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Probably shouldn't have played him 58 minutes a night in 2020.
Do you want to quickly go over the Winter Classic? Your thoughts to the victor go the spoils well.
Thank you very much. I played very well. Feels like
I mean, Corey Perry should be banned from the league, but that's whatever.
Jeez Louise. But he's never tried to hurt anyone, Dan. He's never tried to hurt anyone.
No, of course.
And how could it have been his fault when he was so late to the play? How could you...
Dude, fucking... The only thing I've written down about the Winter Classics... The only thing I've written down about the Winter Classic was... I wrote, in bold, Winter Classic, and then under it, Rick Bonus, stupid takes. Which was, we felt we had to win the game for Corey. Fucking hell.
True victim. Free Torts, free Corey Perry.
Free Corey Perry. How dare Ryan Ellis try and break Corey Perry's elbow with his chin?
I'll tell you though, I like the hit, to be honest.
You fucking savage.
It got me really excited to watch the new John Wick film, which is now on Netflix. Mate, like what can you fucking say?
I know.
Like, what the fuck? What the fucking fuck? It's another one of these suspensions because he's got 5 games for it. Where it's like, I'm glad he didn't get. I was expecting 2 or 3, but 5 still definitely ain't fucking enough. He elbowed the geezer in the head at 30 miles an hour. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Because like you get these elbows that are like, oh, it's just a high hit and he wrenched his elbow, which is bad enough. Corey Perry's like 3 feet in front of Ryan Ellis and sticks his fucking lanky elbow out and just tries to fucking kill him.
I had it on I was watching it on my PC, so the hit happened, and at that point my daughter wanted me to help her do something, or she was doing a drawing game or something, so she's like, oh, can you come and help me? I was like, yeah, sure. And as I see Corey Perry go into the box, I just said out loud, really? Damn, got away with one there. And then I'm doing something like I'm drawing with my daughter, then I look up and he's walking like down the long walk to the dressing room, and I went, oh, okay, and he checked it, obviously, because that was heinous.
I kind of wish that the Winter Classic had been in Nashville now, just so you could see him like absolutely pelted with pennies as he walks for 20 minutes back to the dressing room.
People throwing catfish at him.
The beautiful thing with that walk as well was apparently, like, because you had to walk like across the field to get to like the open it to the tunnel. Apparently, once you get to the tunnel, it's like another 15-minute walk to the dressing room as well.
No way.
Apparently, yeah, that's why the goalies were getting like the buggies, the buggies and the golf carts and that. Oh, what a fucking prick! But yeah, I thought it was good. What did you think as neutral?
I enjoyed it. I thought to be fair, as a neutral, it had everything. It had chaos early on, like 5-on-3 power plays in like the first 5 minutes, which is not something you see all the time. Game misconducts, which was obviously exciting for a neutral to watch. And then a great comeback as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was excellent.
Fucking what more could you want? Yeah, I thought it was good. It was nice. It looked nice on telly as well. Like, it was a really cool venue. I thought
I'm sure me, you, and the 17 other people who watched it really enjoyed it.
Mate, like the part of the problem with that is like the ratings have been steadily declining over the years anyway. Yeah. So in some ways it's a bit disingenuous to really call out this year's edition as being so piss poor, because we were sort of heading towards that anyway. Let me just...
Yes, I agree.
I'll just have a quick little confirmation of that. There was a slight uptick last year, but yeah, since 2014 we've gone from 4.4 million to 3.47, 2.8, 2.6, 2.5, then back up to 2.9, and yeah, bit of a big drop down to 1.96, but geez Louise. And yeah, putting Minnesota in it next year is really going to help. Really going to help.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Who do you reckon it's going to be? Who do you reckon they're going to play then?
The Blackhawks. It's got to be the Blackhawks, right?
It can't be the Blackhawks though, can it? Like,
if they look at that rating this year and then they put Minnesota in it, unless at this point you're purely doing it just because it's that time of year and fuck it, we have to do it. I mean, who else would you put in? Seriously.
That's
It's got to be that, it's got to be somebody who fans are gonna go, oh, them again. I mean, it's like maybe the Bruins. I'm serious. Fans would go, oh, fucking Boston again. But you're gonna have to because if they put them in against, I don't know, pick a team. It's Minnesota already.
Yeah.
It's not good. Nothing against the Wild, but
Oh yeah, they're not gonna pull it, are they?
No.
And it is a problem. Like it's a fundamental problem with the event itself, where you're taking out most of the television viewership by having more seats available at the arena. You know what I mean? Like you've got fucking 85,000 Stars and Preds fans in the stadium. Of course, that's going to take a hit because nobody really wants to watch. Yeah, I try and watch the Winter Classic, but I'm never that fussed about it, apart from this year. And like, same with like, obviously I like to try and watch the playoffs as much of the playoffs as I can, but I'm not that invested once the Stars get knocked out or if they don't make it. You know what I mean? And that's part of the course around the league. It's very much a league of I'll watch my team, and if someone else is playing, maybe I'll tune in if it's convenient for me.
Yeah, I agree completely. Because it's that kind of thing where there's 82 games a season for 31 teams.
Yeah, even if you're only watching your team, that's so much hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
You get fatigue if you try to watch any other teams as well.
It takes if you're a diehard fan and you watch every game, even on TV, even if you're not going to games at the arenas, if you're a diehard fan and you're watching every game in that season, why are you going to try and cram in an extra 50 games if it doesn't involve your team? You're not going to care.
And it's like there's no element of like your absence makes the heart grow fonder sort of thing. Like you can watch hockey any night of the week, and specifically you can watch your team basically every other day. Worst case, every 3 days. Compare it to like footy, depending on the week and what competitions your club's in, you could go 7 days without. You could go an entire week between games. So you are more likely to tune into. Combine that with the fact that there's less parity amongst the teams, you are more likely to tune into like a midweek game, say Champions League or Bayern Munich or Man City or whatever, or
yeah, exactly,
or even just because you don't have football every night of the week necessarily. If it's on like a Friday night game or a Monday night game, you'll chuck it on because but it's on. This is a novelty sort of thing. I don't know, but I think it will be a more familiar face against Minnesota, but I don't think it'll be the Blackhawks or Boston.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but there's not many great choices out there unless it's, I don't know.
That's the problem.
Because it will die a death if it's Minnesota versus, I don't know. Let me think.
It might be the Penguins.
Yeah, that'd be a good choice.
Because that was the 91 Cup final or the 92 Cup final. The only Cup final that the North Stars went to was against the Penguins. Yeah. So there's some level of history there, and you know that the Wild are going to cling on to the North Stars as their classic aspect.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it'll be good next year. It'll be really, really good. The ratings will increase by like 5% because they sabotage the progress and they call it a success.
Yeah, just quickly, speaking of the Minnesota Wild, they're just. Bill Guerin said this was a few weeks ago, but with the Bill Peters and the Babcock thing and all everything else, and then Christmas and blah blah blah. I wanted to mention this a few weeks ago, but he did an interview where he said he was tempted to blow the team up and start again, and then decided not to. Why?
Why
I only wanted to mention this because I'm fucking dumbfounded at the stupidity of this. Why? would you not just say, fuck, this is awful, forget it, let's just start again? They've been to the conference finals once, ever, as the Wild. I mean, where are they in the standings? Like, in the Western Conference, 12th, something like that?
This is it, Dan. If you have the chance to come 7th in your conference, you've got to grab that ball by the horns, really, haven't you?
I mean, fucking hell.
Even just to, like, change perception. Because, all right, the Wild haven't had, like, major success, like getting to conference finals or anything like that. But they've been consistent in the fact that they've regularly been in the playoffs over the last decade. You've got to give them that. Yeah. However, they are routinely, like, their identity is the most boring team in the league. That's what they're... And if nothing else, it's to break that monotony and make them a more interesting team and a more interesting product and try and change that culture. Like, if you've got the opportunity to completely revamp the Wild, do it.
You see, it's the curse of the Blues. Is that we said this, didn't we? Everyone said this, not just us, everybody said this, didn't they, after the Cup final, is that that's it now. The Blues have given every single team who are shite at Christmas hope. And it'll just lead to stuff like this. Well, I don't want to blow it all up just in case, because you never know, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's licensed to do nothing in a league that already does nothing regularly.
It just drives me mad.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Last thing I wanted to mention, which was born off a tweet last night from the brilliant people at Cap Friendly, which was that with the Habs losing 7 in a row, looks like they're going to be getting a lottery pick again this year. Do you know what's happened to the Habs' first round picks since 2009?
In what sense? What the players they've picked?
Not the players they've picked, but what's happened to those players. I know you're not going to know all of them, so I'll just go through them now quickly.
Oh, can I try?
Little quick quiz, yeah?
A quick quiz. So Pacioretty was 2007, wasn't he?
Yeah, so we're going to go from 2009. I mean, to before, yeah, you could include Pacioretty because he's been traded away.
Could you give me 2009 just so I've got a rough anchor?
Yeah, Louis LeBlanc.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. 2010.
So, just to qualify on that as well, I'll give you the player's name if you ask for it, and then also what happened to that player.
Go on, yeah, let's do it that way. So so Louis LeBlanc didn't make
2009
didn't make the NHL.
No, never got a qualifying offer.
Jeez Louise.
2010.
Oh, I don't know who it is. Nah.
Jared Tinordi.
Oh Christ, yeah, he got traded away to the Sabres, I want to say.
Traded. 2011.
That was no, I can't remember.
Nathan Boulot.
Oh jeez, yeah, he was traded as well.
Traded. 2012.
Alex Galchenyuk traded to the Coyotes.
Traded. 2013.
Their 13 pick was... Oh, I should know this. No, I don't.
Michael McCarron.
Oh, jeez. Is he still on their roster?
He was just traded.
To the Predators? No, that's Daniel Carr.
It was either today or yesterday. But there you go. 2013.
There you go.
Michael McCarron. Traded. 2014.
Still haven't got it. Christ, I've been terrible at this one.
Nikita Sherbak.
Oh, jeez, yeah, he's playing in the KHL, hasn't he?
Yep, ended up on waivers. 2015.
Mikhail Sergachev, now of the... No, was that 15 or 16?
This is 15. Sergachev was 2016.
Ah, there you go. So their 15 was Arturi Lehkonen?
No.
Nah, no idea then.
Noah Juleson.
Oh, and he's still in the AHL, isn't he?
Still in the AHL. Obviously, 2016, Sergachev, traded. 2017.
Oh, Ryan Poling.
That's right. Who didn't manage a single point in all of his 17 NHL games this season.
Rough. After his hat-trick last year. It's a bit of a shame.
Yeah. 2018.
That was... Oh, shit. No, I don't know.
Kotkaniemi.
Oh, yeah, of course. Another
41
flop.
points in 98 NHL games so far.
Absolute flop. And
then...
Last year, they picked... Did they have a pick last year?
They did.
Oh, Cole Caulfield.
There you go. And I guess we'll wait and see.
We will find out.
But if you go from 2009 onwards, no qualifying offer, traded, waived, AHL, traded, No points in 17 NHL games this season. 41 points in 98 NHL games. And then Cole Caulfield, who I guess is a wait and see.
To be fair, so what, 4 out of 10 drafts that are still in the organisation? Juleson, Poling, Kotkaniemi and Caulfield.
Yeah, but it's a worrying trend.
Yeah,
because you've got to assume at some point in the next few years they're going to get traded.
It's a bad trend, but okay, let's just do a quick. So, let's Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah.
Okay.
Just take them as a good team. Yeah, we'd say.
Agreed.
A good team at drafting, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fair to say. So let's have a look and see their last 10 drafts and see how many are in last 10 first round picks. Okay, so I'm not going to know what's happened to them, but I'm going to know who's still in the system. If that makes sense, yeah. 2009, yep. Carter Ashton, who now plays for Dynamo Riga. 2010, Brett Connolly, who plays for the Panthers. 2011, Vlad Nemestikov plays for the Senators. It's not going well so far, is it? 2010 12, Slater Cuckoo plays for he's in the Hawks system. Their other 2012, which is fine because that makes up for a missing one in 2018. Any guesses? Second pick in 2012.
Oh God, no idea.
Still with the organisation.
Honestly, no idea. I'm crap at these.
Andrei Vasilevsky. So, all right. So
okay.
That is 1 out of 5 who's still in the organisation. 2013, Jonathan Drouin, now the Canadians. 2014, Tony DeAngelo, now the Rangers. 2016, Brett Howden, who's now the Rangers. 2017, Cal Foote, who's playing for their AHL team. And 2019, Nolan Foote, who's playing in the WHL. So, 3 out of 10.
But here's the point now. The Lightning have been successful. The Canadians haven't.
But the point being, like, that doesn't... I think that's relatively par for the course, having that few first rounders still in your system.
And what did the Lightning get back for those players who were what did the Habs get back for those players who were traded away? You know?
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. I'll concede that. And the ones that have stuck around they haven't got an Andrei Vasilevsky in that list for the Canadians, do they?
No, but they are paying a goalie more than him, so that's good.
Only just,
but still, they are.
God, that's backfired really well, isn't it?
Interestingly, Trevor Timmins, the Habs assistant GM, who is credited with being Bergevin's right-hand man for these picks, is also built like an absolute fucking tank.
Yeah, when they say
clearly
right-hand man, it's a spotter.
Clearly the GM meetings are held in the gym. Because you should see a picture of Trevor Timmins. It's like the classic Bergevin red t-shirt pic. Timmins is also in a red t-shirt with the guns out, looking like an absolute unit.
Maybe it's Timmins who got Bergevin into it.
Maybe it's Timmins who got Bergevin onto his steak diet.
Or the Nate Schmidt steak.
I forgot about the Nate Schmidt steaks.
Jesus Christ! Oh, I've got a beautiful little side by side here. They are literally the same person.
I know. Mad, right?
That's fucking weird.
I mean, clearly that's how you stay in Bergevin's good books. Because with Timmins' draft history in the first round, he should have been gone a long time ago. Maybe he's Bergevin's spotter in the gym. He's just a really good guy at spotting.
That's the thing. He just needs to keep him around.
I am pushing as hard as I can, Trevor. I can't do it anymore. Come on, Mark. One more. Push it. Feel the burn.
Yeah.
And Bergevin rips his shirt off like Hogan in the 80s.
There's just like slap it like in Terminator with Schwarzenegger and is it Carl Weathers in Terminator?
Oh, Predator.
Predator, that's the one, sorry.
the Predator hand. Yeah, they do the Predator handshake every time they meet up. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Mate.
I wonder how many... Do you know what? I've often wondered a little project for the summertime when we have like sort of 2 weeks in between shows would be to look at which team has made the most of their own picks relative to their success, you know?
What, in the sense of like drafted players on their team or like assets gotten back from drafted players. Like, are we going to?
Yeah, like drafted players on their team.
Yeah.
I know I think the Jets would be right up there, wouldn't they? They always draft really well. Well, they seem to.
I think the Leafs would probably be fairly up there at the moment.
Actually, yeah, but maybe you'd have to look at it a different way. Maybe I'd maybe look at it as in like value further down the draft or something like that.
Yeah.
Because to be fair to the Leafs, like, yeah, they have a first overall. Like, Mitch Marner's that, like, all right, you can't really miss, can you? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I guess you can, but...
Yeah, I mean, you can ask the Oilers about that. But yeah, you're right. Like,
That's a good point. How many teams have got sort of second rounders playing on their top line or third line? Like, third rounders playing as like a top 2D or something?
Well,
I don't know the answer.
There's a certain team in the South, Dan, who iced 3 fifth rounders in their team this season. At least 3.
Really?
Oh yeah, Jamie Benn, John Klingberg, and Nick Camano, all 5th round picks.
Klingberg was never a 5th round pick.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my
God.
God.
5th round pick in 2010.
Jesus.
Yeah, fucking mental that.
Clearly I knew that, but I didn't remember that because fucking hell.
He's a really weird case, Klingberg, because like he deserved to be a 5th round pick sort of thing. It's not like he fell for weird or vice reasons or anything like that. And he just slowly and steadily got better, but like he was never tearing up Sweden or anything like that. And then he just came out, like he was finally ready to come over. Like he never came over until he was like 23, 24 or something. Came over, scored like 12 points in 8 AHL games, got called up, and then that was it.
No way.
So it's a weird case.
There you go then. Maybe the answer is the Stars. Which team has drafted the best?
Maybe I'd probably put the Sharks up there for that.
Yeah, maybe actually. Not a bad point.
It'd be worth a look. It'd be worth a look.
You know what I'm going to say? I mean, maybe the Bruins.
Yeah, Bruins.
Actually. I mean, that top... I mean, think about their fucking top line.
Yeah, two second rounders and a late first.
Yeah, past that was like 25th or something like that.
That's pretty good. I feel like somebody's done this research and is like...
They must have done.
It's got
like they assign points to each category or something like that, and there's like a rating or something that you can attribute to a team based on their draft history.
Even if it's just like draft position and like total up the draft position of all your drafted players that are still in the squad sort of thing.
Somebody at the Athletic in the summer must have done this when they had fuck all else to do.
Oh, you'd have thought so, wouldn't you?
You would have thought so, wouldn't you? There you go.
Right.
Put that in my light bulb file for a summertime thing.
Put a pin in it. Keep it fresh.
Put a pin in it, and we'll have to have a look at it. Speaking of putting a pin in things, Will.
Oh, gee, I don't know where this is going.
Man versus 8-year-old.
Hey, Will, you schmuck. You're going to get roasted by an 8-year-old, you fool.
How's it?
I mean, we don't have to look at... Well, the cut-off was 10 points. It's now 11. But we'll move on, because it's...
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that. It's fun. It's your last one for this. Obviously this is the last season. You'll have to do it for a bit, because I'll be doing it next season. So let's just...
Let's ride it till the wheels fall off. Let's Thomas Chabot it.
Yeah, let's just do with this what I do with all my cars, which is just drive it until it falls to pieces and then start again.
Yeah, I can get behind that. So 11 points back. Right. Who have we got this week, Dan?
Right. It is the Blues time of year, Will. You got time. Bruins Jets.
It's been staring us in the face the whole time. I'm going to win it all. Bruins Jets. It's got to be the Bruins, isn't it?
Canadians Oilers.
Oh, that's a naughty one. That is. The Oilers. You can't not pick the Oilers after that bloody goal McDavid scored.
Beautiful. Sharks Blue Jackets.
Oh fucking hell. Blue Jackets.
Hurricanes Kings.
Canes. Gotta be.
Blues Rangers.
Blues.
All right. Georgia went complete. Actually, no, Georgia didn't. Georgia went Jets, Oilers, Sharks, Kings, Blues.
Okay.
Just for full transparency.
Yeah, nice. So hopefully I can make up the points on those 4 that we were different on. Then I can get back to a respectable -7.
All right, there we go. We're back for the new year, folks. Cheers for listening, everybody. Will, any last words?
So I'm watching, as I said to you before we recorded that, I'm watching the Leafs Jets game from last week, just because I'm a fucking psychopath and have nothing better to do with my time. And I noticed there was a scrum. It says in Winnipeg, and there was a scrum behind the net. And I happened to notice the Winnipeg mascot was behind the glass, right where the scrum was happening. And the mascot walks away, Dan. So the whole idea of sticking up for your teammates, should that not extend to the mascot as well?
I mean, you would think so. I mean, he should be banging on the glass.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Shouting abuse at Leafs players, shouldn't he?
As part of like the mascot kayfabe, he should at least be getting up in people's faces for that sort of thing. But no, he just walked off up the stairs as if it was a stoppage.
Maybe his shift had ended.
Well, like his hockey shift or his real person shift.
His real person shift, like skin at 9 o'clock. I'm clocking off. See you later. My job's done.
If that is the case, who is organising his shift pattern that his shifts end halfway through a game?
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, but you can't predict when there's going to be a scrum at the glass, can you? If his shift ended, his shift's ended. That's not his fault. If he's union as well, he's got to go.
Halfway through a game, so he's trying to leave, and some kid's like, "Oh, can I get a picture with your mascot?" And he's like, takes off his head. He's like, "Fuck off, kid! I'm going home."
Yeah, but I'm thinking then the next guy comes in. Like, they have a rotating people in costumes. It must get hot as hell in there.
Oh, yeah, I wonder if you can it's like lorry drivers can only legally do so many miles. Like you can only do so many minutes in a.
I love the idea that next time we drive past a lorry, I'm going to imagine there's some NHL mascot in the bunk asleep because he's reached his limit for the day.
You know, you'd be able to do a whole game in a mascot costume.
Go on,
Thomas Chabot. Good post-playing career profession for him.
There'll be stories written about him. Oh shit! Before I forget, something else I watched over Christmas. If you watched The Witcher,
have I fucking hell,
dude, it was awesome. Right, this is going to light bulb file next week. Witcher talk. Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that as our question of the week.
Yeah, fantastic. And you know what? One last thing from me. Here's a crazy prediction. As we've proved that we are prediction geniuses. The Lightning are going to catch the Bruins. They're going to overtake them. The Bruins are going to play the Leafs again in the playoffs, and the Leafs are going to win this season. That's my wacky prediction for this season.
And then the Panthers are going to sweep the Lightning in the first round.
Okay, take care, folks. We'll see you later.
Peace.